Well, this is going to be probably the toughest thing I've ever done in my life, so I'm going to ask for all of you to offer some silent prayers for me right now so I can do this properly and honor Grant the way I should. First, I want to thank all of you for coming in today. We've seen so many of our friends and family members. Many of you have come from out of town at great expense, and so I may not be able to spend as much time with each one of you as I would like, but just know that I appreciate the gesture of you being here, and that, on behalf of our family, we love you. This community has showed us nothing but support through these last few days, and really words cannot express how much we appreciate it. It's an absolute privilege for me to be here to talk about Grant. Obviously, we wish, as Stephen said, this was not the occasion that we all get together. But I think at least subconsciously, I've been thinking about what this service would be like almost from the second that I got this terrible news. And what I decided early on was that whatever we do here today, it's not going to be a somber, depressing service that makes us all feel worse than we already do, but rather more of an uplifting celebration of what Grant was to us. And I know for a fact that is exactly what he would want, because just a week ago, we had to bury my mother. And so we were talking about some different things, and Grant said, then, when I have my funeral, I want it to be a celebration. So that's what we're going to do. So here is what I'm going to do to begin this celebration of Grant's life. This room is filled with a lot of rowdy high school students. And it's also filled with a bunch of old guys like me that used to be a rowdy high school student. So I want us all to stand up. I want you all to stand up, okay? Now, we all knew Grant. We all have great memories of Grant. So I want us to take about 10 or 15 seconds. Just bow your heads in thought, close your eyes, and I want you to think of some fun, positive memory of Grant, something that made you happy, something that made you laugh. Then I am going to count to 3. And I want each and every one of you to yell, scream, clap, whistle, stomp, throw yourselves on the floor to show exactly what he meant for us. So let's all think right now about Grant. I want you to show me exactly how you felt about Grant Wilson. 1, 2, 3. Please have a seat. Thank you. I know that gets a little bit of the tension out. Some of those emotions that are kind of welling up inside. Romans 8:28. It says, and we know all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to his purpose. I do not know why something like this happens. Doesn't seem fair. But I have to lay down my hunger for answers. And I just accept the fact that even though it may be in a way that I can't even imagine, and it may take years to even see it, that God will work this all out for good in some way, shape, or form. And it's our job to accept that and believe it. No one got up on Friday wanting this to happen. 3 others were hurt physically and emotionally. And I'm thankful that they're alive. And I'm praying for their healing. I don't know the other driver involved in the accident, but I'm praying for them too. And I can stand before you here today, absolutely no animosity. I'm not looking for blame. I'm praying for healing and peace, and I hope you will as well. I'm not going to spend a lot of time giving you a lot of facts and figures about Grant. I will say that he was born on my 32nd birthday, January 3rd, 1999, greatest birthday present I have ever received or will ever receive. The picture is worth 1,000 words. So I want to have them put up a picture. You might have seen it in the montage. That's not the one.
We've got them all there.
That's not the one, but if we can get the other one up there of Grace and Grant together.
The last one.
There we go, that's it. It's my favorite picture ever. He knew that. I've told him many times. It's a favorite picture. I personally took that photo in our living room. And I don't remember what was being said or what was happening right when I snapped that. But I think that describes Grant perfectly. He never changed from that smile and that little face. I'm learning a lot more about Grant that I did not even know, and the life he was leading away from home. And it's one of the things that I'm kind of struggling with the most. You know, as a parent, you're constantly on guard for the negative things. And we're always nagging you guys. Our job is to turn you into good people. And we're always ready to dole out the criticism. But it comes from a good place. But what I did not realize until Friday about Grant was that my job was already done. I've thought of a few words that describe Grant, and you may have some to add in your own mind. Fun, funny, loud, kind, respectful, stubborn, loving, accepting, tolerant, graceful, smart, terrible penmanship, talented, compassionate, creative, loyal, and giving. From the moment Grant arrived on this earth, he loved life. He was not afraid to sing and dance with all his might. He didn't care what it sounded like or what time of night it was. He didn't take things too seriously, which I didn't understand till now. That's the right way. His hair is going all directions, no problem. 5 minutes till school starts, you just got up. It'll work out. We need to order pizza, here's $20. A couple memories of Grant when we went to the library to get his first library card. I don't know if any of the ladies are here. They loved him. He filled out the forms to get his first library card. They handed it to him. He had to sign it. He was 6 years old, maybe. Misspelled Grant. 2 N's. So we were walking out, and I said, "Hey, what What happened? Why'd you misspell your name? He said, Dad, that was a lot of pressure. Grant was a fan of Rice Krispies, and it was not unusual, especially in his younger years. He would pass on whatever dinner was being served up by Mrs. Wilson and opt for Rice Krispies. And one of our favorite lines in our house, our memories, is Grant saying, Dad, it feels like a 4-bowl night. In later times, Grant and I would stay up late after everyone else had gone to bed. We'd watch The Office. It was one of his favorite shows. And Grant was very likely at any possible time to throw out a "that's what she said." And then his mom would tell him to stop. Grant came to me at age 12 or 13. We might scroll through a couple photos here. Said he wanted to learn how to play the guitar. I said, okay. I already knew he was a great artist. So I said, absolutely. So we got him a starter guitar, and the passion and dedication that he showed from that point on was one of the most impressive things I've ever seen in my life. He was left-handed, but he played the guitar right-handed. We know what an amazing musician he was. Mike McCloskey, his teacher, is right down here in front. Also played the ukulele, the bass, the mandolin, the harmonica, and the keyboard. Music coming out of our basement constantly lifted my spirits. Grant was a great artist and sculptor. As you see from some of his work out in the atrium, I hope you'll take a look at it. Some of the ones from this year he never got to see. One of his greatest sculptures, though, is sitting right down here. Greg, stand up. Stand up. His younger brother, Greg. You can sit. Grant took his role as a big brother very seriously. Some of his friends can attest. Greg has many of the same beautiful qualities as Grant. And so that's big. Grant was mature beyond his years. He was an old soul. He was in love with his soul mate, Adriana. He was so devoted to her. She's watching right now in the hospital. I want to say I love her. She's going to be fine. I also want to apologize because I never really took their relationship all that seriously. That was a high school romance that would break up any minute over something trivial, and they'd never see each other again. But Grant and Adriana had what many people search for a lifetime and never find. So I'm extremely grateful as I stand here today that he had that unconditional love and support from another person. He had a chance to experience what that feels like. Grant worked at the Bainbridge McDonald's, where he became a legend at age 14. He was so nervous the day I dropped him off for his first day. Some of his coworkers were here earlier. I don't know if they stayed. I told him just to be himself, give it time, and that he would get more comfortable. In no time, he was loved by everyone there. Many of you have probably seen the YouTube videos combining 3 sandwiches into one. Graduated on and started working at the Golf Dome. I was so proud of the way he did his job. Diligent, responsible. Saved his money, and in September this year, bought his first car. 2001 Toyota Highlander. Dent in the back. He didn't care. Broken mirror. He loved that car. And I always told him I was so proud of him that he saved up his own money and bought that car. This is a tough time, such a tough time. I've always tried to teach my kids that life is hard, and you got to be equally tough to make it in the world. It's a trying time for our family and this community. We're not allowed to pick our circumstances, but we are allowed to pick how we react to the circumstances. So we've got a couple of choices here. We can either go down a road of anger, resentment, depression, hostility, retribution, or we can listen to what Grant is saying from the other side. I'm challenging myself, and I'm challenging each one of you to take what we know about this beautiful young man, channel his positive energy into our lives. Be a better man. Be a better woman, a better mother, father, son, daughter, student, citizen. Be a person that someone else thanks God for. Don't lay your head down at night until you've helped somebody else. And when you do that, say to yourself, that's the way Grant Wilson would have done it. That's the Grant Wilson way. Or just, that person just got granted. If we do that, every one of us, day after day, year after year, Grant will always be here. Spirit will never leave us. Thank you.